Welcome Capricorn to tonight's reading with the Air Moon Eris. This reading will be for any Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury placements that you are looking into, whether it's for yourself or for a fellow Capricorn. Either way. So we are just going to get started with the tarot and see what we get come through. So this should be for this month. This will also be a timeless reading. So regardless of when you see this reading or get this message, it should be for, you know, the month from which you see it. Okay, so to start off with, we have the Queen of Cups. So it's like you might be reevaluating some things that are close to you. I know things that mean a lot to you at the moment. But I feel like you feel quite full, but you're managing everything in a more balanced way than you probably give yourself credit for. I actually feel like you're quite grounded, but allowing yourself to be vulnerable and process things and just being fluid. Do you know what? It's not even being as emotional as per se. It's more about just being like a fluid person and going with the flow and being objective, but having good clarity and having a good set of, a good head. What is it? Sorry, despite, I don't know, it's a bit weird. A good head on your shoulders. Yeah. For some of you, you might be like a mother. You might be taking care of children and actually doing really well, doing a lot better than you think. There's some sort of energy here where I feel like you might be like, I don't know if you're like criticizing yourself necessarily, but you might just be like being picky towards yourself. Like you might be being a little bit, even if it was like through the lens of like constructive criticism, like you don't need to cross-examine yourself here. I feel like they're trying to say that you're quite good and you don't need to do that. Like you're on track with whatever this thing is. Whatever. I feel like it's just the energy of what you are stepping into for the next month. So maybe this is like where you're starting out at, or it's where you're about to step into. I feel like things probably calm down for you a little bit. Like you might still have a little bit of, you know, rocky things happening here and there. But initially it like sort of starts off calmer than what you have been used to it being. So I feel like that's what helps you like, you know, even out and work with the ebb and flow of everything. And then it's like, yeah, something does sort of catch up with you that wasn't quite finished. And I actually wonder if that's why you were in that Queen of Cups energy to begin with, because it was kind of like the first like stabilizing breather that you've maybe had for a while. But you might have actually anticipated that we had like another sort of turbulent time coming in or another tower moment coming in. I don't know for some of you if this is like family stuff. It's going to be different for everyone. Yeah. I wonder if some of this group is like really reevaluating themselves as a person and what they want, and I don't know if it's like an interest. No, it's not introspection. I don't know. It's just like priorities, like what finding what brings you value in life and knowing what it is that you're going to put your time into. Yeah. And I think when you do that, then things will naturally fall away, even if it's like super uncomfortable at the time, or a bit of a full-on time in life. The whole purpose is for it to free up, to make room for better things. And so maybe it could be a bit of a gamble, but it's really like the universe is like reorienting your direction. It's almost like a compass, like you were heading this way and now the universe says it's time to go this way. Yeah. So I feel like this is like coming out in very like short flows, and it's a little bit like it's not as flowy or elegant as eloquent. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. Anyway, we'll just move on. So maybe some of you are just caught up with like whatever your competing priorities are. Maybe there's not like a lot of bandwidth left because you've just been forced to like open up a can of worms or something. I'm saying this and it doesn't connect with what I see when I look at the card, and it's like the energy coming through is differently. I'm just going to take a moment to close my eyes and take a breath and see if I can connect to something here I might be missing, or just clear it up a little bit. They just said you just need to like take your time doing things and take the pressure off yourself. Yeah, okay. I think it's that thing too of if you put too much pressure on yourself and then you're experiencing really hard times in life, or just, you know, a bit of like unsteady ground, it's a lot harder to roll with the punches when you're being hard on yourself. It's like a time that calls for self-compassion. So definitely, I think that's what it is that I was trying to, yeah, and getting the goosebumps. Okay, it was self-compassion. So trying to look within, and it might take you, I feel that's what it was. It was like, it felt like I was sort of like going back and forth, going around in circles, not really getting anywhere, finding it hard to sort of navigate this space. Maybe you haven't been in it for a while, but it's like, maybe you aren't just very familiar with self-compassion, but it's time for you to sort of look within and find that self-compassion, because you'll need it when the Tower moment comes. But it is going to be, it won't be necessarily good to experience the Tower moment, but what it does in terms of like reorienting your life and freeing up room for more meaningful things, you know, that's why it happens, right? So, okay. So they're saying that you're meeting a person, they're a friend at first, they introduce you to a work colleague, and the work colleague likes you as well, but they're both friends. But they're not like real friends, they're like work friends, but they're kind of good work friends. It's like a bit of a weird dynamic going on there, because I don't think you necessarily engage in like a third party situation where you're entering into multiple relationships. But and look, granted, this isn't going to be for everyone. It is a very specific message that just came through for someone watching, or for like, you know, a group of the people in this reading. So it's really bizarre, but because I feel like it catches everybody off guard, like no one was planning on it. I don't feel like these people are the sort of people that would normally even entertain anything of that nature. Like maybe they're normally quite good at like pulling down the veil, or like, you know, mentally blocking out situations like that, but for whatever reason they just can't get past it, or can't get past themselves with this time round. So, and then saying this time round makes me think that maybe it's happened before and they've been able to kind of dust it off or palm it off or something like that. I'm not really sure. So I feel like last time it just didn't affect them so much, or didn't bother them so much, or I don't see either of these people having partners. It's just that, like, you know, you might start spending time with someone or getting to know someone, or like, you know, interest is peaked on both sides, or at least one side, but I feel like it's both sides. And then no sooner do they introduce you to this work friend of theirs, or someone that they do business with or something, there's someone where the livelihood is mixed up, or a partnership of some kind. So even if they don't work together, maybe they're like invested in the same interest or something. I'm not sure how else to say it. So yeah. Okay, moving on. So I feel like that's probably a little bit awkward to navigate that, and I don't think anything will really come from it, but I think it's just something that you might be keenly aware of, and you may feel like, I don't know, just whatever it is, I don't think it like lasts really long anyway. I feel like there's some sort of ending to that situation pretty quickly. I don't think it's anything that you have to necessarily do. I think spirit kind of takes care of it for you. Like someone will just stop working there, or maybe you and the person that were getting to know each other just realize that maybe you guys weren't going to go anywhere anyway. For some of you, it's kind of like you go into a person's workplace, but you're like with a friend, and maybe they don't actually work together, but that's where you spark the third party person's interest, is because maybe you're actually entering into their space, even if you and the, you know, friend aren't necessarily friends, or you're just only at that stage or something like that. It's kind of like they see you as a couple, but you catch their interest, and then it's like kind of awkward because they can't really do anything, or, you know, like meaningful, because they're at work regardless anyway. So then it's kind of like, well, they just, I think you just catch their interest whenever you're around, and I think they kind of keep an eye out for you. Maybe you brighten up their day, but basically like something would happen here where like maybe the business would close down, or maybe you guys end up like moving, or I don't know. There's just like some sort of ending to that situation. I don't know what it is. So we could hypothesize all day, and it would be different things for different people. So that part's not channeled, and it's probably not going to be helpful. So moving on. Who do we have the death? Some of you, this person could actually be a Scorpio as well. Yeah, that could definitely be a thing. And if they're not Scorpio, they could have like some major Scorpio placements, or just like embody that Scorpio or Scorpionic energy. If nothing else, it's just like a transformative period that somehow comes out of this situation. I've got to be honest with you, like, even though I'm picking up on like what the cards are and everything, I'm not getting like a general storyline outside of what I've said. That's kind of it. It's I feel like there's maybe more to look to in the Tower card. I sort of get something, it's like where the building's on fire and no one wants to go higher, but the fire's up the top of the building, which is where you would need to go to put it out if you were going to put it out. And so it's like everyone's like too scared. So I think that's what sort of inevitably lets the Tower moment happen, because everyone's too scared or acting out of fear or something like that. No one wants to be the collateral damage or the pioneer or the brave person that just goes and tries to put the fire out. Everyone's too scared to put the fire out, so they'd rather just jump ship or abandon ship and let that thing come down, and they're nowhere near in sight. So I'm not sure if that's helpful for someone there as well. We're also going to pull a Zodiac card and just see if we get anything else that's sort of come up. I still feel like we're not really done here, but I'm not getting a whole lot more right now, so maybe taking another card will help us. I just keep getting drawn back to this Queen of Cups though, where it's like trying to find that self-compassion within. So maybe for some of you, it's like, is that transform? Oh, that's too many cards. It is that transformative process that actually helps you find that self-compassion, or it's like finding that self-compassion that allows this transformative process to actually take place. I feel like that's probably more the case there. Yeah, okay, here. There's still a lot. Okay, well, I've got to tell you, so the Pisces card came out before with that first group of cards that I didn't want to take because there was too many. We actually had Saggy come out, and this time we've had Aries come out, which is a fire sign, and we've actually had the fire card come out as well, and we've also got the earth card. So yeah, okay. With the fire, I just feel like there's just like a lot of, it's like that execution energy in a sense. When I say execution, it's like taking action, like you just do the thing. Like, I don't know a fire sign that sits around and thinks about something. They just go and do the thing. and they get it sorted out. They take action and they execute their plan, like not the plan, but like they just do what they have to do. And maybe that's the energy here that could have brought something down, like freeing something up in a sense, because they had whatever it was to say that. For some of you though, because we do have that Queen of Cups here, and we do actually have the Pisces card here, but we also have like Scorpio in the Death. So it's definitely like heavy water, heavy fire, a little bit of earth. I'm not really sure. I feel like if anyone's going to be earth, it's that third party person that I was talking about, although you could have significant earth in your chart. And I did sort of feel like at the start that this Queen of Cups, I don't know why, I'm sort of thinking that she could also like be, this is a Capricorn reading, okay? So Capricorn is an earth sign, and it was the weirdest thing because I've never read a Queen of Cups that felt like so Capricorn in my life, but I knew that there was more to the message than just that. And I actually wonder if it's just that processing of emotions through the Capricorn lens in a way that I don't quite understand. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, but it's all in like other placements. So yeah, I think I've got like a stellium Capricorn, but it's, so I sort of get it, but I sort of don't. We need to move on. So fire, I feel like there's something that I'm missing here, and I can't help but think that it's just being this group, this audience, you Capricorn, or the fellow Capricorn that you're looking into, is going within, trying to find this self-compassion, and they're just going around and round and they're not getting anywhere. And I feel like they think they're making progress, and just as they think they've made some sort of progress, it's like they just come up empty-handed, like there's just nothing to show for it, and they're kind of confused about it, and they don't know where to go with it, but it makes sense and they know how to do it and they've done it before, and they're not sure why it's not working now, but it's just not. Yeah. For this group, I feel like it actually would be really good for you to be in your feelings and your emotions so that you can process things properly, because I feel like what you're doing right now, it's like coming from a good place and you're trying to use intent and do something about your situation, but part of it just requires being present. And if we're really busy like this is really conflicting energy. I'm sorry, Capricorn, I'm not sure what to make of this and how to, I just want to see if there's like any more insight that we have for you so that we don't get too caught up in this. It still doesn't want to move on. Maybe that's what it is. Some of you don't want to move on, but it's like it takes a tower moment to move things along because you don't want to move on and you've put it off for too long. And yeah, that sort of resonates a lot more as well. I'm getting a second reading come through here, or you know, a second group of people, and so some of you are like in a position or a situation that you've been in for a long time and you don't want to leave it, and you're really staying stuck. I know, not stuck, you're just going stagnant, where you're like spending too much time thinking about it, you're getting in your feels about it, you don't really know what to do, you don't really want to leave the situation, but you know that you need to. And then the universe comes along and makes that decision for you because you're not making the decision. So it's like, I don't know, say your name is Jessie. Here, Jessie, you're not leaving this person that you know is bad for you, and I know that you feel bad for them and that you wanted this to be something great, but it's not turning out to be something great. So we're going to show you that it's not great and expose that. And when we expose that, it's probably all going to fall apart. But just as much as it falls apart, we're going to put you on path to a person that actually is going to be great. And I actually think that might be this third party person now. So for this particular group, so if this particular message resonates where you don't like, please don't try to make any of these fit. It's only taking what resonates and, like, if anything, using it as confirmation for something that you may have already had like a suspicion on. But for this group, yeah, you are somehow freed of this person or this situation or relationship, and you come across this new person who, I wonder if you like met them when you're with this old partner, or when you're with a friend or a family member and you're in at their workplace. Like, I don't know if you like went to a business or a shop, or receiving a service or something, whatever it was. And I think it shows you the things that you did want and did need, and that in itself is enough for you to put it to bed and let the rest of it die. Like, I feel like up until that point, you may have still questioned your decisions or why the universe did the things that they did and let things play out the way that they did, and you needed to be shown why. And, you know, there's also like another group within that too. This is, there must be like a lot of people, a lot of different situations within this Capricorn, like within this next month for Capricorn, because for some of you, it's like you're the person working and this new person like comes into your workplace and you just accidentally kind of have them stumble upon you, and even that is enough for you to just let old things die. And yeah, okay, I think we've got the message there anyway. So Aries. Okay, so there is like one really clear message here, because we also had like Mars sitting on the bottom of the deck of that Zodiac group. So we had Fire, Aries. I said we had Saggy come out before, and now we've got Mars. So it's just the energy of like determination, motivation, and like taking action, and just, yeah, you're like making it happen. It's like just, yeah. Okay, anything else? Some of this group, you may have like some sort of Pisces in your chart, or maybe there's I'm not really sure. I'm getting a few different things sort of come through hypothetically in regards to charts, as in like what placements could be in what house, but I don't know how helpful that's going to be for people. I was sort of wondering if there's some sort of aspect that's happening that's actually, I don't know if it's like an aspect or a transition going through like your 12th house at the moment that's making it hard for you to see the situation with clarity. And maybe it's to do with the self. So I wonder if some of you have like a significant placement. I don't know. There's some sort of overlap or crossing between like the 12th house and the first house. Yeah. Okay. 23, 26, anything else? Okay, Capricorn, that's everything that I have for you for tonight's reading. I hope that it was helpful in some way, because I know there was quite a few different scenarios happening there. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope that you got something out of it. I'll see you in another video.